Hi everyone, Sandra Duran Wilson here, and welcome to this final week of Mixed Media Soul Sparks. We've been running this for 2 years now, and we're coming up on the final episode, and I wanted to go out with final finishes. So there's a lot of questions about finishing your work, especially around the idea of varnish. And I just want to address the differences between varnishes and sealing your work. And for many people, they think that sealing it is varnishing, but there's a difference. Now, why do people varnish work? As you varnish work to be able to remove the varnish. Think of the Sistine Chapel. When they cleaned it, everybody was like in shock. They're like, oh, those aren't the real colors. They're so bright and garish. Those were the true colors. But when people breathe in the oxygen and all the pollutants in the air, they discolor the paint over time. And what varnish is actually a barrier. So you put the varnish on, so it acts as a barrier. It's going to catch all those pollutants and the discoloration, and then you remove it. But how many people are really going to go back 10 years after they've sold a painting and call up their collector and say, oh, I need the painting, I need to remove the varnish? People just don't do that anymore. When I studied with my great aunt, she had been painting since she was a child. I have a painting of hers that she did as a student in 1929. And the painting is so old and dark, but it's also not done on a very good surface, so I can't remove that varnish. She painted in oil. So if you paint in oil, it's easier to remove varnish. But if you paint in acrylic, like I do, you need to put an isolation coat between your painting and the varnish. So what is an isolation coat? It's an isolation coat. It's going to be using soft gel gloss diluted with a bit of water. And you're going to brush that on, and you're going to let it dry. And then when it's completely dry, you can apply your varnish. And that will make it stable in order to remove the varnish, because acrylic has a bit of ammonia in it. And ammonia is what they use to remove the varnish. So you need this barrier to prevent damaging the painting. As I said, I don't plan on removing any varnish. But there are times when I use varnish, and for very good reasons. Now, let me just show you a couple of these different varnishes. This one is by Golden. It's a mineral spirit acrylic aerosol. They call it MSA varnish. And it's got a mineral spirit in because it's got UVLS protectant. That means it's going to help keep anything from fading. Now, most of our paints today, acrylic paints, are very light fast. But if you're working with collage or some other materials in mixed media like we do, then you might want to use this to protect for any fading. Here's another one. This is Krylon, and it's not a varnish, but it's an acrylic coating, but it is UV resistant. So it is also going to protect against fading, but it's a different formulation. So without getting into all the technicalities of more than what I just told you, you could use this to protect papers. Now realize when you go to spray this stuff onto papers, it's going to change the paper. It's probably going to darken it. So there's this trade-off between how you want to finish your work and how you want it to look. So I always say, if I'm going to be using papers that may fade, like if I have a black or red paper, I actually paint it with black or red paint while it's big. And then when I tear it up for collage or to add it to my painting, it's protected. The same with, say, a decorative paper that I've bought. Before I tear it up into small pieces, I take it outside and I treat the entire piece of paper with the UV spray. Then when I'm ready to use it, it's ready to go. So that's all I'm going to say about varnishes, but I do want to talk about sealing, and that's a whole different thing. So when you go to seal work, you have to think of, why am I sealing it? If it's just simply an acrylic painting, which I don't think I have only an acrylic painting out here. This one I have, it's acrylic, but it's got collage, it's got a lot of other things. It's on a panel, so it's really not paper. These are metallics. This is some paper that I did some marbling on. But the reason I want to seal this is because I want to stabilize this crackle. I also want to make sure that this paper is sealed. And some areas are shiny and some areas are matte. And I started to do something here. I wanted to show you right in here where I've added the dark over this gold. And it's just a dark glaze, and it's going to actually help accentuate this line that's in between these. And I can just put it on and rub some of it off. And it just creates more depth in that piece. So all of this other stuff is very dry. So let's just say I wanted to seal this with a kind of a satin, waxy looking finish. This one has been sealed. It's on paper, but it's mounted on board. And I've given it what I call a faux encaustic finish. Now, my 5th book was called Acrylic Painting, Acrylic Painting, Faux Encaustic, Acrylic Painting for Encaustic Effects. That's the name of it. I always called it Faux Encaustic. And I will give you a chapter with the recipes, different recipes. So some of the recipes are pourable, spreadable, or thicker ones. And this is, I'm going to tell you what I use to get this finished because it's the quickest, easiest thing. And I'm using this product, the Decoupage Matte. And this is a little different than their, just get this one. I'll put the link in for you because it works really well. And I'm going to show you right here on this one. Sometimes I want to shake it a little bit because when anything has matte, it's got particulates in it. It's going to make it matte. So what it does is it breaks up the light. And I'm just going to go straight into here. And you see it's got a nice thick viscosity. You don't want to overbrush it. Just want to get it on here. Brush it on. I'd usually use a bigger brush, but I just grabbed what was next to me. And I like to do this especially with works on paper because then I know that it's sealed in. I don't have to worry about any damage happening to any little parts of paper that may be exposed. Most of this is completely covered in acrylic, but it's just a little extra insurance. See that this viscosity is thick enough to where it can sit up on these ridges. It's not going to be so fluid that it doesn't stay up on the ridges. Okay, so now I just let that, set it aside, let it dry. And that's my favorite way to get this beautiful kind of finish. Now, here I've got one that's got some gloss on it, it's got some matte on it, and it's pretty smooth. If I wanted to, say, make it glossy, make it all glossy, well, let's use this one instead, because if you get in here and close on this one, you can see that there's glass bead gel. It's very glossy there, it's very glossy here, and matte here. Now, you don't have to make everything the same sheen. It's possible to have something glossy and something matte. This is a product I like for making a thick, glossy, brushless surface. So triple thick, I'm just going to squeeze it out here. It's got self-leveling qualities to it. And I'm just going to use a knife And I'm going to spread it because this is a very textured surface. It's got a strong smell to it, so it's not like solvents or anything. It's just got a particular odor to it. It's whatever it is. But do you see how thick that is? It's going to dry almost like a resin. And by using the knife instead of the brush, I'm not getting a lot of brush marks. Self-leveling quality. Now, I can look if there are any little spots. I see one spot that might need something. And I just go in. But the main thing is once you get this on here like this, stop. Don't keep brushing it or even using your knife because it's going to dry fast. And if you do that, you're going to catch it and you're not going to get this beautiful finish to it. So I'm going to let this one be glossy up here and keep it more matte down there. Doesn't have to be the same thing. Now, if you have something like this, this has a lot of texture on it, a lot of different layers. There's crackle, there's collage, there's gold leaf. This is where I would use a spray varnish. Not for the varnish capabilities to remove it, but just to unify the sheen to protect the paper, the gold leaf. And the reason I would use a spray varnish is because I could spray very thin layers and build them up. And I'd probably use, something like this satin or a gloss. And when you're spraying something, I call it around the clock. So you spray, you wait the 10 or 15 minutes, you rotate a quarter rotation, you spray again, wait your time, spray again, and you can keep going. Now, if you really wanted to be sure of good coverage, you would repeat that process again. Because it takes, I think, about 8 sprays to get like one brush on, the same dimension of the brush on varnish. But the reason I wouldn't use the brush on here is because of these different heights. So that's where I'd use a spray varnish. Now let me just show you this piece. And I don't know if you can see the black here, how opaque it is. And this was a mixture I made. And I'll give you the recipes. This is my faux encaustic spreadable one. So what I would use for that would be a soft gel semi-gloss. And I could adjust how much sheen or cover or opacity I wanted by adding either matte medium, or if I really wanted to keep it thick, then I would use a gel matte. But if you use a gel matte just by itself, it gets too thick. It really, covers up underlying parts. So I like to make these mixtures. And here, sometimes I just keep them in a jar. This is more of a pourable one. So I've taken gloss medium and matte medium, and I mix them together. And I can make my own ratio. If I want something more, more to the matte end, I'll put in more matte, less gloss. If I want it more glossy, then I'm going to do the opposite. So I have control over it rather than just buying something that is semi-gloss. Of course, you can alter that too. So these are all the different finishes that you can get. And final finishes. Here's one more. I would use that thick knife texture over this because of all of the different areas. And I have put one on top of it. I've taken my knife and I've spread it. So let me just show you real quick using the semi-gloss. Now, of course, with the all of these products, they're white when they're wet, but when they dry, they're going to be clear. So I put this on with my knife, and then I just do a nice layer. It's what I call a Goldilocks thing. You don't want it so thick to where it's going to crevice, but you don't want it so thin to where you're going to have all these like streaks from your knife. And it does take a little practice of smearing this stuff around. Now I'm going to give you one more tip before we go on this. And this is like a really cool way to really get it to look like wax. So this is my semi-gloss. It's just straight out of the jar, as you can see. I'm going to let this dry. And when it's dry, when it's completely dry, you can tell it's dry when it goes clear, but I'd give it a couple more days to dry. Then I would come back in with this spray varnish, and I would spray on top of that. And the reason for doing that is because this layer of gel is going to create this barrier. And then when I spray, it's going to sit on top of that. And our eyes can read these microns of depth. So it's really going to start to look like wax. So that is it for final finishes. I hope you've enjoyed being with me this last year, these last 2 years. I'll still be posting some things on the YouTube channel, so please hop over there and take a look. Join if you haven't, if you haven't already signed up to follow that. Sign up for my newsletter, and I'll be posting some more classes. But please look at my website, see what other classes you can find. And I've really enjoyed being with you these last 2 years. So thank you very much. Till next time. Join the Creative Awakening community on Facebook, where you'll be able to post your art, connect with other creatives around the world, and ask questions. Use the hashtag MixedMediaSoulSparks when posting your work on social media. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next week.